Hey everyone, Mr. Montgomery again, and today we're going to be using everything we've learned about adding two-digit numbers together to solve a story problem. So if you guys are feeling really comfortable with adding two-digit numbers together, and you remember all those little tricks, well, today's just going to be a really easy lesson for you. The most difficult part is going to be reading. That's all. But we're going to read some together. We're going to practice this and have some fun. So here's the number here's the page number that we're on today. We are on page 433. So if you don't have your Robot Turtle book open, go get it, pause the video, hit the spacebar, go to page 433, and let's get cracking. So while we work on these problems today, we're going to think about some important questions, like how can I use numbers and symbols to solve this problem? Which, by that, they mean, how are we going to set up the number sentence? Are we going to say blank plus blank equals blankety blank? Or blank minus blank equals blankety blank? How are we going to set them up? How are we going to solve using a number sentence? And also, they want us to know or think about, how can I use the math I know to show this problem? So we're also going to be thinking about how on earth are we going to solve this problem using the tricks we've learned over the past 2 weeks. Okay? So I'm not too sure if it has this in your book, but I need to kind of erase it to make some space because I don't know about you guys, but I tend to get a little carried away with showing my work in math, which is actually a really good habit to get into. The more you write down your work and each step that you do, the more careful you will be in math. Okay, so let's start reading the story problem, and we're going to circle every important thing that we hear. So let me zoom in a little bit. Okay, so Pam has 13 buttons. You know, 13 sounds super important. I'm going to circle it. Then Julie gives her some more. And you know what? The word more, that's actually really important too. You might not remember this from a few units ago, but the word more is usually going to mean that we add. All right? Oh. Okay, now let's read our next sentence. Now Pam has 30 buttons. Okay, so I'm going to circle the number 30. Use blocks or a number line to figure out how many buttons Julie gave Pam. Oh my gosh, this seems like a little bit of a headache, but that's okay. We're going to figure this out. So let's figure out how we're going to write this as a number sentence. So we know that the total is 30 because they say, well, after she gets some more buttons, now Pam has 30. So no matter what we write, it is going to equal 30. That has to be the total at the end. And the first number that we know that Pam had was 13. So 13. And you know what? Since they tell us the word more, that is going to mean that we add. So we can say 13 plus some number, we have no idea what it is, equals 30. Okay? So this is how we are going to solve this problem. We have to find the missing addend. And if you guys remember from, like, oh man, months and months and months ago, addend just means the other number that you're adding with. So first thing we're going to do is, well, let's draw a picture. Let's draw a picture of the number 13. So we're going to draw how many tens and ones there are. So there is a 1 in the tens place, so you draw 1 10 stick. And there's 3 ones. So we draw 3 1 circles. 1, 2, and 3. So now we got to start adding some tens and ones to figure out what that missing number is. But I'm going to change this color to blue. Now, if you want to draw this out with me and use 2 different colors, That sounds like a fun idea. So let's figure this out. So if we have 13, well, do you think it'd be easier to just add a whole bunch of ones or to add a 10 until we get closer? It's going to be a little bit easier if we add some 10s. So let's add one 10 at a time. So if we add one 10, we now have 23. Okay? But if we add another 10, then we're going to have way too many. And we can't have that. So we have enough 10s. So we're going to stop right there with the 10s. Next, we have to start adding some 1s until we get all the way up to the number 30. This is our goal. This is our goal number. So now that we have 23, I'm going to count on by 1s and all the way until we get to 30. Okay, so we have 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, and 30. So now I'm going to stop, and let's see how much I had to add to make a total of 30. Well, how many 10s did I have to add? Remember, this is my answer right here, this one 10 stick. So how many 10 sticks did I add? I added just one. So that means I added one 10. So I put a 1 in the tens place. Next, I'm going to look at how many 1s I added. I added 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So I have 7 1s, so I put a 7 in the 1s place. So now we know that 13 plus 17 equals 30. And maybe you're thinking, whoa, hold on. How do we know this is the right answer? Well, we can absolutely check. We can check to make sure that we have the right answer. So, I mean, we can check with drawing some 10s and 1s if you want. So we're going to draw all of our 10s first. We have 1, 2, 2 10s, and 3 1s right there. So 1, 2, 3, and 7 1s here. So I'm going to draw 7 more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Yep, we still have 30, no matter what. All right, so drawing a picture can absolutely help us. Some friends might be using a number line. Personally, I think that is way too complicated to try to write a whole number line, trying to figure this out using jumps of 10s and 1s, and gosh knows what else. So I would actually recommend we stick with this method right here of drawing. All right, so let's go on to the next page and do a couple more practice problems together to make sure we really understand what is going on with these story problems. All right, so let's make sure that we are all on page 434 now. And we're actually going to try this convince me problem right here in this green box off to the side. And the reason I'm doing this is because, one, it's extra practice. Two, they keep drawing these numbers a little differently that I think might be a little confusing. I mean, if you really look at how they did this, I think that is just so much extra drawing that you have to put arrows and redirect things, and I don't want that to confuse anybody. That's why I've been making sure I have us draw all the 10s and then all the 1s at one time. Or if you're able to use the other method that we learned, where you pull out the 10s and 1s separate, add them separately, and then add them all together, that's fine too. We can also go through that while we practice. All right, so let's try this convince me problem right here. All right, I'm going to read it. We're going to circle everything that's important that we hear, and then find out how we're going to solve this. If Miko has 23 green marbles and 30 blue marbles, how many marbles does he have in all? So I heard some important numbers here. Miko has 23. So I'm going to circle 23. It's 23 green marbles and 30 blue. That's also very important, so I'm going to circle it. Then how many marbles does he have in all? Well, if you guys remember from months ago, in all is a very special phrase, and that tells us that we are going to add or subtract. Which one? We're going to add. We are definitely going to add. When we see the words in all, that means you are going to combine. You're going to add numbers together. And they want us to draw a picture to solve this problem. Now, here is the cool thing about this problem. It's completely different from the first one. We know that we're going to add. So we can go ahead and make a space, put a plus, make a space, and an equal sign, and a space after it. We just need to figure out where to put these two numbers. But they're telling us that Miko has 23 green and 30 blue. We do not know how much they have in all because that's what they're asking us to solve. They want us to tell them how many in all. So we do not have a total. So 23 can go in either side of the plus sign. So we can write 23 here and 30 right here. Now, if you are comfortable with adding this by saying, okay, well, we're going to pull the ones apart, maybe 3 plus 0, and then adding the 10 separately, then you have 20 plus 30. That's fine if that works for you. You don't have to use that. I just want to make sure I point that out. That if this works for you, go ahead. I'm not going to say you must absolutely draw a picture. No, I'm not going to say that, but it can help in certain story problems. This one, since we're not trying to find an add-end, you can actually solve this one however way you like. We don't have to draw a picture. I mean, we can, but we don't have to. So I'm actually going to give you guys a quick moment to solve this one on your own because we already set it up together. So go ahead and solve this one on your own. There's a really easy trick to this one that I will remind you guys at the end. Okay, if you're not done this, that's fine. Take your time. Pause the video though. Pause the video, hit the space bar. If you are done, let's just go through and check our work real quick. So they're saying 23 plus 30. Now, if we want to draw a picture, the way I would say to do it would be to first draw all the 10s. So we have 2 10s here. 1, 2. Then we have 3 more 10s over here. 1, 2, 3. And now let's draw the ones. We have 3 1s in 23. So 1, 2, 3. And we have 0 1s in 30. So our work is already done. We don't have to add anything else. Now all we do is count up all the 10s. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we have 5 10s. And count up the ones. 1, 2, 3. Now make sure you keep the 10s and 1s separate. Okay? So we have 3 1s. And then when we put these two numbers together, we have 5 10s and 3 1s. It makes the number 53. Right? Now, that's how we could solve it with a picture. If you guys remember the little quick mental math way to solve this, since we have a 0 in the ones place, the only thing we really have to worry about is adding the 10s. So add 2 and 3 together. 2 plus 3 is 5. And then just bring on over the 3. Because the 3 is just getting added to a 0 anyway. You know, you're not going to change it. So that is the little mental math way we were doing a few days ago. So let's take a look at number 1 now. Now, like I said before, I don't really care for how they draw out and try to rearrange all these ones dots. That seems like a bit much. So I'm just going to go ahead and erase this. If you guys would like to draw it differently also, you can use any open space in your book. Okay? Any open space you have on this page, you can absolutely use it to redraw if you need to. Alright, so let's read through this problem and find out what is going on here. So Ellen has 27 stickers. Hold on. 27 sounds important. Her brother gives her 26 stickers. That also sounds important. As I see and heard a number, I'm going to circle it. How many stickers does Ellen have in all? Whoa, there's those words in all again. And we already know what that means. And check it out. They already gave us a plus sign right there. Cool. So we definitely know what we're going to add. So to write out the number sentence, it's going to be 27 plus 26. Now, how do I know that 27 shouldn't be on the other side of the equal sign? Well, because we don't know the total. They're asking us how many in all. They don't know. So that is our clue that tells us that both of these numbers that they told us are addends. They are not answers. They are not the total. Okay? So, you know what? I'm going to let you guys try this one on your own. Since we just set it up already, I'm going to let you try this one all on your own. You can solve this one however you like. You can draw a picture over here on the side of the page, underneath, whatever. If you want to draw a picture, you can use any extra space to do any extra addition sentences that you want to do. Solve it the way that's comfortable for you. Alright, if you are not done this, pause the video, hit the space bar. If you are done, let's go through it together and make sure that we're very comfortable with this. Okay, so for 27 plus 26, if I were to draw a picture, going to draw the tens first. I'm not just going to draw one set of tens, I'm going to draw all of them. So 27 has how many tens? Well, it has 2. So I'm going to draw 2 tens. And 26 has how many tens? Remember, when someone says how many tens, you're just telling them what number is in the tens place. That's it. So 26 has 2 tens, so we draw 2 more. 1, 2. And next we are going to draw our ones, which I will do in a different color here. Now, how many ones are in the number 27? What number is in the ones place? Well, we have 7. So we draw 7 circles. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. And next we look at the ones place in the number 26, which has 6 ones. So we draw 6 more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So I'm going to stop, because I drew all of my ones, I drew all of my tens. The only thing left to do is to see if I can make another 10 out of all these ones dots. So that's exactly what I'm going to do. So I'm going to go through and count 10 dots. If I count 10 dots, I'm going to stop and circle all the ones I counted and make a whole new 10. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I stop because I counted 10. I'm going to circle all the ones I just counted. All right. And now this is a 10. So I'm going to count up all of my 10s. I have 1, 2, 3, 4. I have 5 now. So I have 5 10s. And then how many ones are left over? 1, 2, 3. So 3 goes in the ones place. And our answer is 53. All right? Okay, let's just do one more together. We're going to go to the next page, do just one more. And this time, you're going to do all of it on your own. I will read the problem, but you're going to do all of it on your own. All right, so now we're on page 435. I'm going to zoom in on number 2 here. So I'm going to read it, but I'm not going to circle anything. I'm not going to write anything out. You will try this one completely on your own. Okay? Okay, so the story problem says Barry has 12 red cars. He has 14 blue cars. How many cars does Barry have in all? Okay, so that's their story problem. I hope you were following along. If not, just rewind the video a little bit. So make sure you circle all the important things. Make sure you write out the addition sentence properly. And use all this space over here to show your work. Okay? Okay, if you are still working on this problem, hit the spacebar on your keyboard. Pause the video. If you're all done, well, I'm just going to kind of tell you guys how to write the addition sentence and then give you the correct answer. And then if you really need to see how it's done, I will show you at the very end of the video. Okay? All right, so let's reread this problem. Barry has 12 red cars. Okay, 12 is important. I'm going to circle it. He has 14 blue cars. So circle 14. That's also important. How many cars does Barry have in all? I'm going to circle in all because that tells us that we're adding and that we don't know what the total is. That is a big question mark. We have no idea. It's like the Riddler over here from Batman. We have no idea. So, since we know that we don't have the total, that we need to find it, we know that 12 and 14 are addends, so they hug the plus sign. So 14 and 12. Now, I can tell you already that we are not going to regroup, because 4 and 2, they don't go bigger than 10. So we are not going to be regrouping. So we can go ahead and add the ones, 4 and 2. Going to add these two together. 4 and 2 are 6. And then 1 and 1 is 2. So 26. All right. Now, if you are not in my class, please let your teacher know that the video is over and ask him or her what they would like you to do next, unless you really need to see the extra work at the end of the video. After I go through the independent work for my class, I will go back and show you how to do all the work. Okay? For friends in my class, we are going to go to our independent work next. Alright, so for our independent work, click on the man in the blue box like we always do, guys. Click on Classwork, and right here you're going to have somewhere on here, it might not be at the very top, just make sure you look very close. It says 10-9 quick check, and there's 4 questions on here from the SAVVAS website. And then if you get that done really fast, you can try the challenging extra practice. Now, I'm saying that this is more challenging because it doesn't read the problems to you. On the SAVVAS site, it will read the problems to you, one at a time. With the extra practice, it's going to be a little bit more challenging, but I think you guys got this, all right? Just make sure that you keep an eye out for those special details, like the numbers, if they say that they're given more, or if it says in all. Those are all special clues. Keep an eye out for those, okay? So, now if you need to see the work for the last problem that we did, you can come make sure you stay through the rest of the video, and I'll go through the work of that last problem that we did. If not, I hope you guys have a great day, and I will see you next time. See you guys later. Okay, so now that everyone else is gone, but you want to see that work, right? Let's go back to that problem. Boom. Let's go back and see how we solved 12 plus 14. All right. So, of course, we can use a drawing for this. Now, if you want to do it the way the SAVVAS site does it, draw out the number 12, which is 1 10 and 2 1s. And then draw out the number 14, which is 1 10 and 4 1s. Okay. So we have 2 10s here. So you see, the reason I don't like this is because it kind of makes you have to redraw it. So you put the 10s together, 1 2, and then put all the 1s together, which is 1 2 3 4 5 6. So 1 2 3 4 5 6. So now we have 2 10s and 6 1s. That's it. Now, if you don't like drawing and you'd rather deal with number senses done in a different way, we can do that also. Now, if you're like me, you might like to stack your numbers like this. So we might say 12 plus 14. And now I'm doing it this way because I know that there is no regrouping. Okay, so we don't really need a picture. And then after we build our addition sentence like this, then we just add each column going down. Or we add from top to bottom. So 2 plus 4 is 6, and 2 and 2 is 2. Okay, just remember that you go from top to bottom in each column. So 2 and 4 is 6, and 1 and 1 is 2, 26. Either way, whether you want to stack the numbers or make a picture, you will get the same answer either way. Or maybe you wanted to do it just a little bit different and pull apart each number into 10s and 1s and add them separately. You can do that too. So if we pull the 10s out, so it's going to be a 10 plus a 10. All I did was take the 10s place from each number, right? There's 1 10 and 1 10, so it makes 10 plus 10. Then I can add that, it makes 20. Because 1 and 1 is 2, bring it on to 0, bring it over, it makes 20. And then add the 1s, 2 and 4. 2 plus 4 equals 6. So you add 6 1s to 20, you get 26. Again, there's a bunch of ways that you can solve this. It's all about what's comfortable for you. Whichever way is comfortable and you always get the right answer, that is the way I want you to keep doing it. Okay? So now this is the real end of the video. I hope that this helped. And if you are confused, please let your teacher know. If you're in my class, please let me know, or sit in on the rest of the lesson and follow along, and maybe hearing it slightly differently in class might help you understand it a little bit better. All right. So I will see you guys next time. Again, have a great day.